winner.
And with the paddock pick being Green Impact. Right, last few to go forward for the Betfred 2000 Guineas 2025. Let's join Alan Howes.
And they're off. Over 1 mile for the Group 1 Betfred 2000 Guineas and the 217th running of the Classic. And Tornado Alert is keen early on, the royal blue with the red cap, and will show the way after the end of the opening furlong. From Scorthy Champ and the blue and white stripes of Seagulls 11 is handy in third. Expanded over toward the far side in blue and orange. Between the pair of those is Wimbledon Hawkeye. Another length back to Green Impact. Then to the far side is Shadow of Light. Benevento's next in the violet silks. The white cap is ruling court. Field of Gold has been held up towards the back of the field. And last of all is Yamo B there. It's Tornado Alert that will lead them towards halfway. Shows by a half a length only to Scorthy Champ. Seagulls 11 remains handy just in behind them. Together there with Green Impact and Wimbledon Hawkeye. Expanded over toward the far side. Then Benevento and ruling court more near side the white cap. Shadow of Light is still being held up toward the far side, and so too Field of Gold, who is in behind runners at this point. Yamo B there is still the back marker. On they go then towards the final 2.5 furlongs. Tornado Alert joined by Seagulls 11, Green Impact. Near side here comes ruling court. Field of Gold is cruising up in behind the grey. Now he's asked to try and lengthen. Racing towards the final furlong and a half. Shadow of Light the far side, joined near side by ruling court. Then Green Impact. Field of Gold is trying to stay on near side. Then came Green Impact back in fourth. It's Shadow of Light together with ruling court. These two battling away. Field of Gold is staying on late. It's ruling court just in front. Ruling court's won the 2000 Guineas from Field of Gold. Then Shadow of Light clear from Tornado Alert, Wimbledon Hawkeye and Green Impact.
William Buick has won the 2000 Guineas with ruling court for Charlie Appleby. That's a third success for the stable, for the trainer in the last 4 years. In second, it is Field of Gold for Kieran Schumacher and the Gosdens, just climbing a little bit on the ground when he really needed to be going forwards. But he's eaten up the ground inside the final furlong. And third was Shadow of Light for Mikel Barcelona and Charlie Appleby. This was unexpected in many kinds of ways. The start of the season didn't seem to be rolling the way of Charlie Appleby and Godolphin, but here they are. They've come back with the work first and third in the 2000 Guineas, and also they got it right in the gallops.
Yeah, absolutely, and the third win in this race from the last 4 runnings of it. We've had Caribus, notable speech, and now ruling court, who has battled his way to a game success. He travelled well, maybe not quite as well as Field of Gold, but he seemed to get lost when the pace was really quickening, didn't he, Field of Gold? He just hit a little bit of a flat spot. He's rushed home without ever feeling like he was ever going to quite get there, but it's still a really good run from him. We'll have to pick it apart again. You'll see William Buick breaks out of stall 11. He had the highest draw of all. He just gets across Kieran Schumacher a little bit earlier on, parks ruling court in front of him, and he's happy to take a lead off the likes of Seagulls 11 and Green Impact just ahead of him. Just there he manages to come across a little bit, doesn't he, and shuffle his way forward slightly ahead of Field of Gold.
He does, but I got the impression in the early stages that Kieran Schumacher was quite happy where he was, getting some cover, and he didn't really mind having a horse on his outside and coming across. Up front is the eventual for Tornado Alert. It's been a great race for Godolphin. They've got 3 of the first 4 home, and that is Sire Vincent Roswinner taking them along. We've already described where ruling court is. Shadow of Light is over on the far side in a similar kind of position, but on the far side of the track to the winner.
Yeah, he's run a huge race, hasn't he, Shadow of Light, and showed that he has trained on. He can be effective at a mile, for all that they'll have considerations in their minds about whether they do go back in distance. Obviously they'll be wanting to shuffle their pack. He could yet develop into a real Commonwealth Cup candidate, couldn't he, potentially, Shadow of Light, and I'm sure they'll want to separate him and ruling court when it comes to Royal Ascot. Just here you're thinking Field of Gold is all over them. I just want to see it again to see where he loses that momentum. It might just be going into the dip.
I think it is. I was confident he was going to handle the dip on the faster grab, but it looks like he might not have done. Let's hear from the winning trainer, Charlie Appleby.
3 in 4 for this man, who's dominating this division now, and a 1-3 as well. Huge congratulations.
No, thank you very much. Look, I can spend all day here thanking everybody. Everybody knows what they've done. Yeah, each year it gets harder. It's a great race coming into it. John's horse there, he looked great, I thought, and obviously the way he won the Craven, he was the horse we all had to beat. And it's been hard for William. You know, it's a tough call to get off a champion 2-year-old. But I say the team have done a great job, and I feel we've all hopefully collectively got our heads together and got the right people on the right horses. Mikel's given the other horse a great ride as well. To have a horse like him finish the way he did, it'd be interesting to see what Mikel's got to say.
I know has he run better than you thought he might, or did you, particularly over the mile?
The mile was just that question mark. It really was. Has he ran better? No, I wouldn't have ran him else. But look, most importantly, it's great for His Highness Sheikh Mohammed, Team Godolphin. It's a purchase horse, as we know, but justifies that he's a sire that we've seen a bit of last year. We felt that we ought to be involved as well, and it's been an exciting horse since we purchased him.
Quickly, the only horse you entered in the Derby has won the Guineas. Are you working back still from that?
Be interested to see what William's got to say, and like I say, let the dust settle and let's enjoy the moment, and then we'll start to map the rest out from there on.
Feels like you've really enjoyed this one.
Yeah, family here. I don't know, I feel like I'm getting older, but you enjoy these days and you learn to enjoy them because they're special, and you can go through the season's highs and lows, and I think I've sort of tried to teach myself William and I have sat down enough times flying around the world by saying, might just try back and sit back and enjoy it sometimes.
Well done.
Take care. Thanks.
Thanks.
Cheers, guys.